Like Porsche and Audi, BMW is a successful and well-known German automotive brand. This company's success is attributable to several factors, as BMW vehicles, commonly called beemers, tend to be reliable and luxurious. But these cars can also be incredibly costly. If you'd like to add a top-notch BMW to your garage or want to learn more about this brand's priciest vehicles, you will want to explore this ranking. So without further ado, let's discuss the 10 most expensive BMWs ever sold. Welcome to Most Expensive. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest most expensive videos. Number 10. 2003 BMW Alpina V8. Price, $401,000. The 2003 BMW Alpina V8 is one of the newest BMWs included in this ranking, but it's also one of the priciest BMW vehicles ever sold. When this sporty two-door coupe went to auction in 2018, potential buyers began a bidding frenzy that resulted in a $401,000 sales price. Of course, it only takes one look at this distinctly European coupe to understand why it's so expensive. It exudes style and speed, with two bright red racing-style seats that beg drivers to test their limits. It's also one of only 555 Alpina V8 models released that year, making it comparatively rare. For the price of this car, you could afford to stay at the most expensive hotels in Las Vegas for several nights. Why it's expensive? There are a few reasons behind this car's incredible price. But the most significant include scarcity, condition, and demand. In addition to being one of less than 600 produced, this car had only 736 miles on its odometer when it sold in 2018. Considering its age, this mileage is astoundingly low, making it far more valuable than BMWs with thousands of miles on their odometer. Number 9. 1939 BMW 328. Price, $550,000. This antique BMW vehicle dates back to the months before World War II, making it one of the few BMW cars from that time to survive this period. It's also been superbly maintained, looking like it was magically transported from the 1930s to the current day. The elongated front end and single-passenger cabin might not suit all drivers. Still, the long vertical grille, buggy-like headlights, and low-slung doors will enchant anyone with an eye for historical German automobiles. Why it's expensive? Only 464 models of the 1939 BMW 328 were produced, so finding one in such fantastic condition is rare. Its historical significance, scarcity, and resplendent condition helped boost its value to $550,000, the price paid for it when it went to auction in 2016. Number 8. 1981 BMW M1. Price, $577,500. This 1981 BMW M1's sharp angles and fin sides make it an iconic relic from the 1980s. But this vehicle was also one of the first mass-produced BMW supercars, earning it a place in automotive history. The BMW M1 that sold at auction in 2016 had only 12,838 kilometers, 7,977 miles, on its odometer, despite being more than 3 decades old. It also sold in excellent condition, which isn't often seen with cars dating back to the early 1980s. Why it's expensive? The 1981 BMW M1 is one of the most prized BMW models from the 1980s, and many wealthy car collectors would love to add one to their garage. But sadly, many of these cars show signs of wear and tear due to multiple drivers, excessive use, and the passage of time. But the 1981 BMW M1 that sold in 2016 was in excellent condition, with comparatively few miles on its odometer. These factors allowed it to outsell other 1981 BMW M1 vehicles for sale. Number 7. 2014 BMW M5 30 Years of M5 Limited Edition. Price, $700,000. The BMW M5 is one of the most sought-after German-made sedans in the world, though its design and components have changed a lot since its 1984 debut. In 2014, BMW celebrated the evolution and popularity of its M5 model by producing 300 limited edition versions, one of which sold for an astounding $700,000. This commemorative vehicle was one of only 30 imported to the United States, making it a unique find. Though it's not as technologically advanced as many of the models released today, this sedan's limited release and top-of-the-line components, for its day, helped make it one of the costliest BMWs ever sold. Why it's expensive? It's not challenging to understand why this BMW fetched $700,000 when it went to auction. After all, it was one of only 300 limited edition versions released worldwide and one of only 30 exported to the United States. These qualities make it one of the rarest BMW models ever produced, increasing prices as demand remains consistent. Still, as you'll soon see, this isn't the most valuable BMW released in 2014. Number 6. 1978 BMW 320i Turbo IMSA. Price, $731,000. Not all of the costliest BMWs are sedans or sporty coupes. Some are race cars, like the 1978 BMW 320i Turbo IMSA. And the vehicle that sold in 2019 for $731,000 was one of only 3 promoted by BMW North America during the late 1970s. Even more fascinating is that this race car was one of only 5 produced in 1978, making it exceptionally rare. But this car's true claim to fame is its multiple competition wins, including the 1979 Road America 500. Why it's expensive? The 1978 BMW 320i Turbo IMSA sold for more than $500,000 thanks to its illustrious racing career and rarity. Buyers with a passion for BMW race cars are often willing to spend hundreds of thousands on vintage vehicles with notable competition wins, including this car. Number 5. 1939 Frazer Nash-BMW 328 Sportscar. Price, $825,000. Though the 1939 BMW 328 is a splendid representation of pre-war BMW automotive excellence, it's not the most expensive vehicle that dates back to this time. Instead, that honor belongs to the 1939 Frazer Nash BMW 328 sports car, an Art Deco-inspired sports car that exudes turn-of-the-century luxury. The classic white exterior, with green decals and forest green interior, are complemented by small chrome accents and a distinctly angled two-pane windshield. But this car's decadence doesn't mean it isn't capable. The 1939 Frazer Nash BMW 328 sports car raced during the 1949 24 Hours of Spa competition, making it one of the classiest BMW vehicles to hit the track. When it sold in 2017, it managed to fetch $825,000. Why it's expensive? This car has a lot going for it. It's an antique, has a racing competition history, and is in top-notch condition. These qualities make it more valuable than other BMWs, especially those released within the last few years. Number 4. 2014 BMW i8 Conqours d'Elegance Edition. Price, $825,000. 2014 was an important year for BMW, and it was also a profitable one. In addition to releasing their celebratory 30 years of M5 limited edition vehicle, they also released the BMW i8 Conqours d'Elegance Edition. The latter of these cars was a sleek hybrid sedan packing 362 horsepower beneath its hood. It was the only one of its kind, making it far more valuable than the average BMW. This rarity was one of the primary reasons it sold for $825,000 in 2014. Why it's expensive? The 2014 BMW i8 Conqours d'Elegance Edition is a one-of-a-kind vehicle that exudes futuristic charm. Because the i8 Conqours d'Elegance edition was created in celebration of the U.S. arrival of the BMW i8, a unique paint scheme and interior treatment as well as other features make it naturally more valuable than mass-produced models. Number 3. 1980 BMW M1 Procar. Price, $913,000. The most expensive BMW race car ever sold is the 1980 BMW M1 Procar, which sold at auction in 2020 for $913,000. This race car is one of less than 500 ever produced, and it has raced in several competition events, including the 1981 IMSA GTO Championship and the 1984 Can-Am Challenge Cup. Despite its age, this car looks brand new due to a full restoration completed in 2009. Its racing history and superb condition make it a race car collector's dream come true. Why it's expensive? The 1980 BMW M1 Procar wasn't widely produced, making this top-selling example a rare find. However, this particular vehicle also has an extensive racing history, making it more valuable than other BMW race cars that only saw 1 or 2 competition events. Number 2. 1958 BMW 507 Series 2. Price, $2.4 million. The 1958 BMW 507 Series 2 is a roadster that looks ideal for cruises around California cliffs or sandy beaches. Still, with a $2.4 million sales price, you might want to keep this vehicle snug in a temperature-controlled garage instead. After all, this two-door coupe convertible has its original engine, a feature you won't find with most antique cars. However, it's important to note that this engine was rebuilt to ensure optimal functionality. But apart from the rebuilt engine, this multi-million-dollar BMW is essentially the same car it was when it was released in 1958. Its superior condition naturally makes it a treasure for car collectors worldwide. Why it's expensive? The BMW Series 2 helped make the BMW brand popular throughout the United States. Without it, the German automaker may have struggled for several more years, or decades, to get a foothold in the North American automobile business. This stunning vehicle is one of the few remaining models from the 1950s, and it might be in better condition than any other 1958 BMW 507 Series 2. Its plethora of original parts is also notable, as most antique vehicles are recreations of the real deal. These qualities make it incredibly valuable, as the 1958 BMW 507 Series 2 is a drivable piece of automotive history and an attractive antique BMW convertible. Number 1. 1957 BMW 507 Touring Sportscar. Price, $5 million. The most expensive BMW ever sold is the 1957 BMW 507 Touring Sportscar, a sleek mid-century coupe once owned by British racecar driver John Surtees. Still, looking at it, you wouldn't know that this vehicle is more than 60 years old. That's because John Surtees, the only vehicle owner up until its auction, took excellent care of this vehicle. It was a gift from BMW to commemorate Surtees' win of the 1956 Motorcycle World Championship, so he likely treasured it for the remainder of his life. Surtees' 1957 BMW 507 Touring Sportscar sold at Bonham's auction for $5 million in 2018. This makes it just as valuable as some of the most expensive Porsche cars. Why it's expensive? Only 252 BMW 507 Touring sports car models were released in 1957, and most are in poor shape nowadays. But John Surtees maintained his BMW, keeping it in near pristine condition. As such, a combination of rarity, condition, and famous ownership have made this vehicle a one-of-a-kind and expensive commodity. So guys, that was it for today. What did you think about our video? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe for more most expensive videos. Thanks for watching.